Many considered the Pebble Steel to be the best looking smartwatch around, until Motorola announced this baby, the Moto 360. So how do they compare? I'm Taylor Martin, this is Pocket Now, and this is the Moto 360 versus Pebble Steel. We've already given Pebble and Pebble Steel in-depth looks. Michael just published his review of the Moto 360, he's covered Android Wear as a platform in just as much detail, and he even compared Android Wear to Pebble OS a few months ago. But if you're anything like me, you've been waiting for a comparison of two of the best looking smartwatches on the market, the Moto 360 and Pebble Steel. Let's take a look at how they compare. Aesthetics are a major part of the smartwatch industry. After all, smartwatches are about the closest technology has ever come to fashion. The thing about fashion is it's an entirely subjective matter, and everyone's opinion differs. Some think Pebble Steel is a beautiful watch, others think it's hideous. The same could be said for the Moto 360. But we'll put it this way, Pebble Steel looks more like a traditional wristwatch whose cover is only blown by the occasional buzzing and notifications. While the Moto 360 borders a line between classic and futuristic wristwatch design, it's not nearly as subtle. A quick jerk of the wrist will light up the watch in full color, revealing its true nature. But let's talk about design. The Moto 360 is big and round, measuring 46mm in diameter. It sits high on the wrist, 11.5mm thick, and for now, you're limited to two style options, both with Horween leather bands. It either comes with a gray strap and silver stainless steel body, or a matte black finish with a black strap. It has a single button on the right side, which doubles as a home and power button, and the backside has a heart rate monitor fixated in the middle of a Qi wireless charging coil. Pebble Steel is more abrasive, squared, and industrial. It too only comes in two color styles, brushed steel or matte black. But in its box comes both a leather strap and a steel band, which, might I add, has a really nice clasp. Around its body, Pebble Steel has 4 buttons, a back button on the left edge and up and down navigation buttons on the right edge, flanking a select button in the center. It's also 46mm tall, but it's only 34mm wide, meaning the face is quite a bit smaller. And size is nothing to take too lightly. With large wrists like mine, the Pebble Steel looks quite small, whereas the Moto 360 is more appropriately sized. Swap out my wrist for some thinner ones, and the 360 looks giant, while the Pebble Steel looks average. The Moto 360 looks like it'd be the heavier of the two, but that isn't the case. Pebble Steel is actually a hair heavier than the 360, even with the leather straps. Then there's the discussion of displays. Pebble Steel comes with an e-paper monochrome display with a resolution of 144 by 168 pixels. It's noticeably pixelated, which is part of the Pebble charm, a sort of retro feel. But it also limits how much can be displayed on the 1.26-inch display, which is surrounded by a considerable amount of bezel. The Moto 360's display is larger and more dense. It's 1.56 inches with a resolution of 320 by 290 pixels. Not to mention its full-color LCD, and the chamfered edge of the Gorilla Glass sinks right into the steel frame. It's virtually bezel-free, minus the horizon line, or what people are calling the flat tire at the bottom. There's just something incredibly alluring about the circular display on the Moto 360, and that alone gives it a cool factor that Pebble Steel simply doesn't have. Honestly, we could go on for days about the software differences. Pebble OS is far more weathered and refined, as it should be. The software has greatly improved in the last year, introducing things like notification history, the ability to rearrange items on the watch, and the dedicated Pebble App Store, which, as of June, is home to over 3,200 apps. Android Wear is only a few months old, and it's very much still a 1.0 product. Visually, it's more stimulating than the monochrome Pebble OS interface, and it offers much deeper integration with your Android smartphone, like actionable notifications and Google searches straight from your wrist. You can queue up navigation without even reaching for your phone, something Pebble can only dream of. Both do, however, come with dedicated apps, Pebble App Store and the Motorola Connect app, which allow you to control and tweak the watch faces and apps on your watch. Something we found incredibly useful on Android Wear is how easy it is to mute the watch. Just drag downward on the watch face. This also gives you current battery percentage and the date. On Pebble, it's 10 button presses to turn off notifications, or 9 if you still want to receive phone call notifications. However, Pebble comes with a scheduled Do Not Disturb mode, which is also quite nice. Pebble also has an advantage in compatibility. It works with either Android or iOS. Android Wear is only compatible with Android smartphones and tablets. The list of differences goes on and on. To learn more about how Android Wear compares to Pebble OS, watch Michael's in-depth comparison of the two watch platforms, linked below. In everyday life, Pebble Steel and the Moto 360 share the same primary function. delivering notifications to your wrist, but they do so in two different manners. The Moto 360 gently notifies you of incoming notifications and Google Now cards. The buzz is so gentle it might be easy to miss notifications if you're active or moving around. Pebble Steel is more bone-jarring and attention-grabbing. The plus is that you won't miss a thing. The downside is that after a period of being disconnected, Pebble Steel will all but rattle your arm off with a backlog of dozens of notifications. Both run smoothly and rarely ever snag or hang, though we've experienced crashing on both. The biggest difference in performance is battery life. I've only had the Moto 360 on hand for about 24 hours, and I've had to charge it twice, once because it was almost dead when it arrived, and once more at night. So far today it's been unplugged for around 4 hours and has dropped nearly 20%, give or take, on a fairly light day of use. Pebble Steel was also unplugged this morning and is still close to 100%. I will have to charge the 360 when I go to sleep tonight, but Pebble Steel will keep ticking for the next 5 or 6 days. How the watch is charged is also a pretty major difference. With such small batteries, both charge very quickly, but Pebble Steel has a USB magnetic contact charger that snaps onto its side. The Moto 360 comes with a nice, albeit less portable, G-stand that makes the watch double as a futuristic looking bedside or desk clock, and it's much easier to initiate charging. While it may not look as cool, charging the Pebble Steel while traveling is as simple as bringing along another cable. The Moto 360 isn't nearly as travel friendly. That's the price to pay for being on the cutting edge of technology. So where should your $250 go? First and foremost, if you use iOS, obviously Pebble Steel is your only option out of these two. If you want a wrist-mounted Google Now companion, the Moto 360 is your best bet, hands down. If instead, you want a device that is a watch first and an additional screen for your smartphone second, Pebble Steel is the better buy. You won't have to charge it every night, the display is always on, and it has better outdoor visibility. Pebble Steel is the more well-rounded, refined, and simple product, by design. But the Moto 360 will certainly turn more heads, and if you're a Google Now user, you'll have more fun and get more out of the 360. Folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, click the thumbs up button below and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this one in the future. Find us around the web on Twitter, Facebook, and Google Plus at Pocket Now. I'm Taylor Martin. You can find me on Twitter at CasperTech, and I will see you next time. Folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video... God. Folks, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, be sure to... Folks, thanks for watching and enjoying... Folks, thanks for watching and help... Folks, thanks for watching... Folks, thanks for watching... Folks, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and found it helpful, be sure to click the thumbs up button below and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one in the future, as more... Folks, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the... You're moving around.